Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Probation Officer's Perspective. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification bell to all so you'll be notified of all the new content that I'm pushing out. And I want to thank everybody for their support, and I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. For me, it's a Merry Christmas, and I hope you had a great day today. And you got to spend time with your family and loved ones. There's a lot of people out there that aren't as blessed to have the family or to enjoy Christmas. And it's always good to, if you have people in your communities that don't have things for Christmas, you know what I mean? Drop them a little something. Give them, a plate of food or a little money. Just something, a blanket if it's cold outside. We got to remember that there's a lot of people in your community that don't have anything for the holidays. And that's the worst. That's got to be the worst. I couldn't imagine. So I want to talk about my Christmas, and then we'll go from there. So today we went to my dad's house, me and the kids, and I got to see my daughter, and her boyfriend, which my daughter, it's my second to the oldest daughter. And she's 24. She lives in a different city. Got to see her, got to see my dad. He'll be 82 next month. His girlfriend, which they don't live far. My dad doesn't live far away, so we get to see each other, quite a bit. Get to spend time together, but quality time with the family, and all the kids. I didn't get to see my oldest daughter today, and my granddaughter, because my granddaughter was with her father for Christmas. So my daughter wasn't getting her till 2:00 today in the afternoon, and she wanted her to come home and open gifts, and I understand all that. So we're going to do another Christmas on Saturday, where I'm going to drive to where they live at, so that we can spend the day there and have dinner together and just have a good time. But we did have a good time today. Today was good. Like I said, I don't get to see my adult kids very often because, they're adults. They have lives. They have jobs. They have, just life. And then I have my kids, and being a single dad, it's rough. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's really rough. They got to spend time with their mom today, which is cool. And I'm not like that. I remember back, like my oldest daughter, right now she's fighting or arguing with, her ex, with my granddaughter about Christmas. And I wanted to talk about that, when it comes to holidays. So, they have a set schedule. Like, anyways, the county that she's in and the county that I was in when I was married, my first marriage, and I got divorced, they have a rule. I forget what the number is, but anyways, it's for visitation. It's standard visitation for everybody. You switch off holidays, but it's different now. Like he gets my granddaughter from Christmas Eve until 2:00 on Christmas Day, and he lives like 2 hours away from them, and so she has to drive halfway. And then when I was so it's a mess because she didn't want to have to. As soon as she got my granddaughter at 2, she had to drive halfway, drive home, and then she got to open her gifts. She didn't want to have to drive to my dad's house or my house, which is, it's about an hour away each way. And I understand that. That's why we're doing it Saturday. But anyways, back to my original subject or topic. So when my oldest daughter, my girls were younger, in my first marriage, when I got divorced, they put that rule in there, or, they give you that visitation rule where you get every other weekend one day during the week, or every Wednesday till from 6 to 8 or something like that. I can't remember. It's been so long ago. But my daughter and her ex, just they argue all the time about it. And he won't give. You know what I mean? He's got a girlfriend with another kid. They just had a baby like a year ago or something like that. And they just, and to me, it just blows me away, because so the way things worked when I had, the visitation with my oldest kids, my oldest girls, was one year you got them Christmas Day and the other parent got them Christmas Eve. And then the next year it, reversed. That parent got them Christmas Day, you got them Christmas Eve. I always gave Christmas Day to my ex. And there's a reason for that. It's because it's Christmas Day and they were young, kids. Santa Claus, coming to their house and trying to explain to them, So I never argued that. I said, look, let's just keep it this way. I'll get them Christmas Eve, and then we would go over to my dad's and have dinner or whatever we were doing. And then I would take the kids home Christmas Eve, open up gifts, do that. And then Christmas Eve, so that way they could get home and wake up at their house and Santa came. You know what I mean? And then she would have them on Christmas Day. And I did that, though. I don't understand why people want to argue about holidays. And I get it, you need to split your time. And trust me, she used to take me to court all the time about stuff when it came to custody. And I feel sorry for people that have to go through all that, because at the end of the day, it's about the kids and it's not about yourself. And it doesn't just goes for, this isn't just for fathers, but it also goes for mothers. They get real vindictive. And when it comes to visitation times and things, they want to, you know what I mean? Both of them, they would just want to argue instead of saying, you know what, it's the holidays, and let's work this out together, or let's co-parent, you know what I mean? And that's what happened with my kids, my younger kids, being a single dad, invited their mom to come to Christmas, you know what I mean? And I was like, if you want to come, you're more than welcome to come every year. Thanksgiving, Christmas. And, there's no hard feelings. And there shouldn't be. I mean, when you split up, you divorce, whatever the case may be, you're no longer with that person. There's no reason to be. You should be not looking in the rearview mirror. You should be looking towards your future. Whatever happened in the past, that's in the past. And I hate to say this, ladies, but women don't forget nothing. It could be 10 years down the road, something you said or did 10 years ago, and they'll bring that shit up 10 years later. Oh, you remember that one time you did this? It's like, whoa. But with me, I'm just, I just want everybody to get along and try to make it. It's about the kids. It's not about the adults. You know what I mean? So I always just try to be adult about everything. All my past relationships that I've had, marriages, I've been divorced twice, married and divorced twice. Now I'm single, been single. I'm going to tell you what. Being single, I want to say for 2 years now. 2 years, at least 2 years of being single. It's rough to date. It's rough. It's like, where do I meet girls? Like before, I used to run around with people from, my friends and people from work, my coworkers. We'd go to the bars. We did all that, thing. But now I'm a single dad. I got to worry about my kids are all in sports, except for my youngest, my daughter. She's too young yet. But I'm always running around. I got two, one in high school, one in middle school. So I'm running around, running ragged. Practices every day, games. They both have games on different days, out of town, in town. It gets a little hectic. And, but It's all about being adult. And I'm hoping that this new year coming up here, what are we, 6 days till the new year, that some of these people on YouTube, these content creators, and yeah, I know a bunch of you probably follow them. You know what I mean? Hey, you follow me. That's great. But I'm going to tell you one thing. I do not hide behind this screen right here. Okay? I'm not afraid to walk outside of my house. Ever. Not once have I ever been afraid to walk outside of my house. Go to the store, go down the street, walk my dog, whatever it is, man. I'm not afraid. Never would be. And here's another thing. If I say something on one of my videos or one of my lives, and whether I mess up by what I say, I'm going to back up my play. I'm going to back up what I say. And that's the way I've always been. I always back up what I say. I'm not going to be afraid because I said something. Oh man, I said this. Now all these people are going to be after me. Or I can't leave the house and I'm afraid, or they're going to make videos about me. I don't give a shit. Go ahead. You know what I mean? It's no skin off my back. To them, it's about that bag, that money. These YouTube content creators are afraid. There's so many of them that people follow that are afraid to go outside of their house, apartment, whatever it is, their comfort zone. They can't leave. They can't just go to the store and walk around. You know what I mean? Because they're afraid. They're always looking over their back that somebody's after me. Well, you know what? If you're keeping it real, 100% real on your talk, then you should have no reason to be afraid to walk outside of your house. And if for some reason you run into some, dumbass at the store, wherever it is, you know what I mean? Because of something you're speaking that's real, 100% true, not fake, not lies, but 100% true. And you're keeping your mouth shut about other people. You don't talk about other people, you know what I mean? Just, you know what I'm talking about. They could get you hurt. You already know that. So why talk about it? If you're going to talk about it, don't be afraid to walk outside. Because eventually you're going to run into somebody, and that's just the way it goes. And I'm not afraid. I don't say anything that's not true. Everything I tell you is 100% true. And if I was to say something that disrespected someone or whatever, and somebody felt some type of way, and they left it in the comments or something like that, then I'm going to get back at them. Say, hey, look, maybe I came off that way, but that's not what I said. Or maybe, whatever it is, I'm gonna own up to my whatever it is. Whatever I say, I'm gonna back my play or own up to if I made a mistake when I ran my mouth. I said something wrong. Then I'm gonna, apologize, and that's it. I'm not gonna go grab this content creator or this content creator, to come back my play. It's not gonna happen. I'm 100% real. That's the difference. I watch these other content creators, and yeah, I do. I mean, because it comes up on my notifications because I subscribe to them. So sometimes I'll click on their stuff, and when I do, I'll be like, they're talking trash about this person, that person, but yet they don't leave their house. They're afraid to leave. To me, I don't get that. It's like, don't either, or what they say. It's like, if, don't say it. And be honest about your life or about yourself up front to everybody. Like, I've told my story, I don't know how many times now of my life, and it is what it is. And if somebody doesn't like it, then they don't have to watch my channel. You know what I mean? But does that mean you don't like somebody's content because, well, yeah, if they're a liar and they constantly lie about stuff, or they're spewing hatred, or they're using clickbait on their thumbnails to get people to get viewers, and they talk all kinds of shit. I get it. People like drama. Drama sells. I understand that 100%. I'm not in that type drama, and I just try to keep it 100% real. And like I said, I've told my story. If you're new, go back to some of my other videos. It's right on the thumbnail about myself or my life. Plus, I have my other channel at Criminal to Cop, which I haven't been working on lately. I just started redoing that whole thing so I can start dropping chapters in that. But yeah, there's just I've clicking on there, and I'm just click on somebody's channel, I'm watching it. I'm like, did he just say that? And here's another thing. People will be like, these other content creators, I'm not that way. Now, if you're gonna put a rude comment on there, I'm gonna respond back to your comment. And then if you keep going, or if it's something stupid or like a troll, of course, then I'll delete their comment. And that's that. And I don't delete them or block them unless they continue to just blow my shit up with stupid shit. And other than that, I'm going to comment back to you, and that's, what I mean? We'll have a discussion. That's what it's about. Not everybody's going to agree with you. Not everybody's going to believe you. But if you try to keep yourself on the lane of 100% facts, and like I said, sometimes when you do a video, you think you got all the facts together, and then after you put the video out, you find out maybe a couple weeks later or a month later that, oh wow, I was a little bit wrong on that video I did. Then go back and make another video and talking about, hey, you know what, I was wrong. I did this video. That now I found out the truth. This is what really happened. I said this, but that's why I always say this is my opinion, my perspective. This is the way I read the story. I watch the news clip or whatever it is when I do a story. I read into it. And I don't just take one source. Trust me. I know that when I do a video, it looks like I'm just using one source, and I try to just use one or two of the most, I feel, credible sources, but there might be 30, 40 stories out there from, say, like the news media or whatever. And then I try to pick the best ones that tells the truth and shows more information. But again, it's just my opinion and my perspective that I give. Everyone has a right to that, their own opinion, and that's what makes it great. That's what makes America great, and I cannot wait till January 20th. I hope that this America turns around, because this has been a crazy world. Crazy 2024. Never seen nothing like it before. It's just been crazy. The last 4 years have been insane. And yeah, I just wanted to, talk about that, because it's, all these different things going on in the world. One guy, I'm just talking here recently. So you got one guy that was saving, basically sticking up for a ton of people on the subway. Wasn't trying to kill this other guy, but he ends up dying. But he's threatening to kill people, and he don't care if he goes back to jail, whatever it is. Everybody uses the mental health thing, and you know what? Mental health is real. And you can't tell me anything about mental health, because I deal with it myself. I have PTSD. I have anxiety. I have depression. I've been dealing with that shit for 24 years. 24 years. Hey. And then on top of that, my career. I didn't deal with PTSD for 24 years, because 24 years ago, they didn't really diagnose people with PTSD. They just said, you got anxiety, you have depression. That's how they dealt with it. But being in my job with that, dealing with that, and it didn't start getting bad until, I want to say, probably the last 5 years of my career, when I was an investigator, is when it really hit me. That was probably the worst time. But then I got diagnosed with PTSD, because that was a real thing then. That's when they started acknowledging it more. But yeah, because I've seen a lot, been through a lot, not only in my career, but in my life. I've seen a lot, been through a lot. And again, I have a story on one of my videos, tells my life, a little bit about my life, but I'm working on my Act Criminal to Cop, telling my life story. It's an autobiography. I was going to write a book. I decided, you know what? One person, and I don't remember who it was, one time, and then I think it was a content creator made this comment, and it was when I was thinking about creating a channel, because I created that channel first, but I didn't know how to do anything. Like I said, my son's the one that got me into that. I said, I don't know how to write a book, and then there's ghostwriters and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I'd rather just be able to tell my story, do it myself. But one of the content creators I was watching at the time said, do a video about your life, your whole life. And that way, when you're no longer here, your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, your great-great-grandkids, all your family can go back, or they can go on YouTube. Hopefully YouTube's still around, and they can watch it. And you tell your whole life story about when you were born, where you were born, about your family and how you grew up, good and bad, the good parts and the bad parts, the stuff you did good and the bad. It doesn't matter. But you're telling your life story so they can go back and watch it. Because, you write a book, heck, by then the books are gone. Who knows? Your book's gone. You can leave a book, but still it's, I don't know. So I started that channel, and I didn't know how to do it. My son was helping me, my 12-year-old. He's the one that pushed me. He's the one that pushed me on this channel and that channel. That channel started first, and then I dropped my first video on this channel 4 months ago, almost 5 months ago. Maybe it was 5 months. I think it was 5 months ago today. I'm not sure. If I go back to my videos, it'll tell you when. I might have been 5 months now. I've been on YouTube, this channel. Not the channel when I started it, because I started it in the summertime, I remember. But I didn't drop a video. I didn't drop a video until like a month or two later, because I didn't know how to do it. Like, again, my son was helping me do everything. I didn't know how to make a thumbnail, none of that stuff. Now I'm a little bit better at it, so I am going to work on my Criminal to Cop channel and still keep this channel as my everything channel that's crime related. I've done some of my stories, my true crime stories. Those are 100% real stories of when I was an investigator, and regardless of what it was, whatever career I was at that time. When I'm telling you these stories, these were true stories, and this is what really happened. Now, down to the detail, probably not some of them, because you got to remember some of these were over a decade old, 15 years ago. Some of them were 10 years ago. So I can't remember every single little detail, but I try my hardest to give you the real truth and the facts of how it went down and what I did as an investigator. But I'm going to do some stories about when I was a PO, when I was working patrol, when I was a CO. And the reason I'm going to tell you about the CO thing, the CO is pretty much like, you can only tell so many CO stories, to be honest with you, because basically it's the same stories over and over. I mean, there is some variations, some days, but, you already got, a prison guard on there talking about his stories. And then there's a couple other COs that have channels that talk about their stories. But they're pretty much all the same, because prison doesn't really change. You know what I mean? Yeah, there was a stabbing. Yeah, there was a riot. Yeah, this. My story's a little different. That's why I don't really dive into the CO part of it. I mean, I'm going to, but because there really isn't no stories like there is on the streets, solving murders, working a murder case, or any other of the cases that I've worked. They're really tough cases. Or being a PO, man, I have some funny stories. I have some serious stories, corrupt stories. There's a lot of stories. And I just don't know where to begin sometimes. But so, like, look, I'm not going to drop names. And everybody knows who it is because there's only one other one in this genre with me, or with this genre that's we kind of, law enforcement, whatever you want to call it, genre. But we're looped into the prison genre because we talk about prison and stuff like that, criminals, crimes, things like that. And we all know who it is. Now, he will talk about stuff. Dude, this is what I was trying to tell you guys about. And I found this out in life, and maybe one day he'll figure this out in life. You have to look forward, right? You're not looking say you're sitting in your car and you're looking forward, you're driving because you want to see what's going on ahead of you, right? You're not trying to look in the rearview mirror, in the side mirror, see what they're doing, or what's behind you, because that's your past. And your past stays behind you so that you can focus on your future. And there's a channel I came across just here recently, and it's the Ghetto Bodybuilder. And don't let that title fool you, because he does work out, but he's a CO. He's been a CO for 13 years now. And one of the things I like about him is he's very humble. Okay. And with the other CO that we all know who I'm talking about, but I'm not going to name any names. You've been gone 2 years, over 2 years, whatever. But yet your focus, okay, that was in your rear view, but yet you put it in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Rear view put in front of you instead of pushing forward with something else and forgetting about what's there. Just like I did in every career I worked in. I worked for different agencies in my career. So when I did, I always never looked back. Was there shit that went on there? Was there corrupt shit? Yeah. Was there stuff going on that I didn't like, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. But did I dwell on that? No. I moved on and kept my lane forward, looking straight ahead, and I wasn't looking back. I don't give a crap what they do, and any of those other departments I worked in, don't care, because I don't work there no more. You might chit chat with run into your co-workers, your ex-co-workers, or your friends that still work in the department, and they're talking about what's going on, or letting loose of what's going on. Yeah. But I'm not going to sit here and talk to you guys about it, because why? I don't work there no more. I can tell you the stories from when I worked there, but I can't tell you about what's going on in that department right now because I haven't been there. So if I haven't worked there for 2 years, how can I tell you what's going on there and what it's like to work there now? Because I can tell you right now, the last department I worked for, actually all the departments I work for have changed, dramatically changed. So I can't sit there and tell you what they do now and what they used to do, what they used to do, but I can't tell you what they do now in that department. Because I've had people come up to me before here, recently, or say, in the last few months, 6 months, I run into people, okay? And they'll be like, man, when I was a PO, they'll talk about that department, how much it's changed, how the shit's changed there, dude. It's changed. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's just, it is what it is. That's not the way it was when I worked there, but change comes, and it's not my business. I like hearing the stories of it, but I'm not dwelling on it because that's my past. That's in my rearview mirror. I don't give a crap less what they do now. But, I like to hear people tell me about it. And then I'm like, wow, I can't believe they changed that, or they did this, or they did that. You know what I'm saying? You got to move on with your life. And if you never move on with your life, whether it be a relationship you're in, that same goes for relationships. Most of the relationships that I have been in, I have contact with them, with my exes. They'll reach out to me. They're having problems with their relationship now. You know what I mean? That's the type of person I am. I don't have ill feelings about, I've been married and divorced twice and been in several relationships. I don't hold a grudge. There's no need to. So I get along with them, and they, talk to me and open up to me. Hey, can I talk to you? They'll shoot me a DM or something. I need to talk to you. Can I give you a call? Well, yeah, go ahead. What's up? And all I can do is give my advice. You know what I mean? But again, put it in your rear view, because at one point in time, I didn't live my life that way. I didn't put things in the rear view, and I held on to that in my mind and my soul, and I just kept harping over it. You know what I mean? It just kept going around and around and around, and trying to figure out what went wrong, or what can I do to fix it, instead of just saying, you know what, God took that person out of your life to put somebody into your life, or so that you can move on and be happy. So I cannot sit there. Same with a job. You move on to another job. God puts you in this new job and took you out of that job for a reason. Not for you to sit there for 2 years, 5 years, whatever, and harp on the place you used to work for. Because who cares? You know what I mean? I don't care. I left there. But to tell other people how a department, I cannot sit here and tell you guys a year ago, say I left a year ago from the department that I worked at. I cannot tell you from when I worked there what it's like to still work there, and what's changed and what hasn't changed. I can't, because I don't work there. And everything that I get is hearsay. So when people talk to me, I get a lot of different stories. You know what I mean? One person will tell me this, another person tells me this. So you know what you get what I'm saying? You're living in the past, which is causing problems in your life, when you should be looking towards the future and what God has planned for you in your future. Anyways, to get back to the CO I found, the Ghetto Bodybuilder, go check him out. This guy is so positive. Like I haven't, granted, went through all his videos, and he has a playlist. So he puts all his corrections videos in a playlist, and then he has his, like eating and working out in a different, anyways, you get what I'm saying. You can find the corrections videos. He just dropped a couple in the last couple days. What I like about him is he talks about if you're a rookie CEO. He talks about if you're wanting to be a CEO, mistakes that you make, how not to make these mistakes. He's very, very positive. And he never deters anyone from being a correctional officer. He shares his experiences as he still works there. And he tries to give you, and he helps you for free. He doesn't charge you to do it. I know a lot of other content creators want to charge you to give you knowledge, which I think is a bunch of bullshit. Anybody ask me a question about anything I did in my life, it's free. 100% free. I'm not going to sit here and charge you for it. You know what I mean? Because that's given back to you, to anybody. It's knowledge I learned, and it's knowledge I can pass on to somebody else. If it's going to help them succeed in their career or their life, I'm going to do it. Again, whether it's their career, a relationship, whatever it is, if I learned a lesson that maybe they're younger than me and they haven't been through that yet. Or maybe they're my age and they still haven't been through it yet, but I have been through it all. I'm going to share that with them. I'm not going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to charge you for this. You know what I mean? You pay me some money and then I'll tell you how to be a PO, a CO, an investigator. I'll give you some tips and tricks. You know what I mean? But you're going to pay me. No, I'm not like that, man. You hit me up. It's 100% free. Anytime. I'm like a friend, dude. I treat everybody on here and my subscribers as like family, like we're a family and we're all friends, because we are. Because you listen to me talk or tell, news stories or stories about myself, about my life that I'm sharing with you. And so, everybody's a friend to me. Everybody's a part of the family. And that's the way I look at it. And I enjoy the interaction. We're not always going to agree on everything. That's point blank. I had some people arguing with me about the CO that got killed at the county jail by somebody that his parents said he had a mental illness. And I had a couple people say, "Oh, well, the corrections officer must have done something to him, or the parent or his mom and his sister were saying, oh, he had medical or mental issues and he needed to be in a mental facility, not jail." Well, he committed crimes and he wasn't sentenced yet, so he's sitting in the county jail. Now, what I said was, mom and sister were on the news saying this. Now, did they go down to because you get checked out when you get booked in, you get medically cleared before they book you, whether they take you they acted like, and they're the ones that said it. He'd been to prison before. They said he had mental health issues. Well, if they did, why didn't they tell the officers that? Then I'm sure they would have took him and he would have had to get cleared before and released from the mental, whether it's a 72-hour hold in the mental ward, or they sent him wherever, and then went to the jail, and he's going to get evaluated. And if he's on medication already, which he should be, where's mom and sister? Did they go down to the county jail and say, here's his medications, there's all his medications, he has this, and this mental issues, you know what I mean? Can you please, or, can I talk to the sheriff? Can I talk to the captain? Can I talk to chief deputy? Can I talk to somebody? It's a county jail. You know what I mean? Did they do that? No, they did not. So the people, and I have mental illness, like I said, I suffer. But using that as an excuse as to what you did, or other people making excuses as, oh, he's got mental issues, and if he would have just done this. No, because what steps did you take to help? What steps did you tell the officers? Did you tell the jail? He was there for over a month. And the other thing was, whatever that inmate, or if it was another inmate, doesn't matter who it was, there was some protocols that weren't followed. And I feel like that falls back, not what happened to the inmate. Some of what the responsibility should go back on the sheriff's department, and that sheriff, or that department for sure. Because when somebody's in, whether he was in like the Hole or ADSEG in the county jail, he was locked down for 23 hours a day. He only got 1 hour rec time. Okay. When this CO, this correctional officer, county correctional officer, he went on the second tier, looked in his cell, saw he wasn't in there, and then called for him and confronted. He was sitting at a table or whatever it was. I can't remember. And then if you read it, the inmate was following him. And that's when it happened. He hit him and then he beat him to death. Well, here's the second thing. Number one, there's a protocol. 2 officer escort. That guy should have been cuffed up. If he's in 23-1, he should have been cuffed before he left his cell. He should have cuffed up. And there should have been 2 officers escorting him because he did have a violent past. And if he has a history of mental illness, 2 officers cuffed up or restraints, and he should have been escorted that way. That officer should never have went by himself. And that was one thing. He should have called and waited for another officer before, he tried to escort him back to his cell. And the third thing was, and I don't know if this is a typo or what, but the officer, it said the inmate was behind the officer. So like he trusted him and he let him behind him. You never let an inmate behind you. Never. I don't care how cool you think they are, whatever. I said it in that video. I'll say it again. I go still to this day, just because of my training, different situations I've been in, I always sit with my back to the wall. Like when I go to a restaurant. If I go to a restaurant, I sit down. I can't, they got booths or tables along the walls, and then they have tables in the center. I can't sit in the center. Can't do it. Unless there's nothing behind me. But usually it's the table or booth against the wall, so I can observe everything that's going on. That's just me. I hate it. My ex used to tell me all the time, why do you do that? Like, it's just like embedded in my head. I mean, that was what I was trained to do. And also in situations that I've been in, that's what, you had to do so that nobody could come up from behind. So you put yourself in a position, especially if you're by yourself, that no one can come up from behind you. And you can observe everything and see everything. Anyways, let's go. So, yeah, I hope this year coming up, 2025, some of these adults, now listen, we're all adults here. All these other content creators, subscribers are adults. Most of them are all adults. And there's no reason why you can't act like an adult, especially if you've been in prison or you were in law enforcement, whatever your case may be. I don't care if you're in the county jail or you weren't in no jail. You're an adult. Act like an adult. Be honest with your subscribers. I know honesty, you got to drum up some shit to get views. No, I can't do that. I got to tell it 100% real and have fun with it and joke around, because I got funny stories too. And I've yet to get to those. And that's one of my things that I told myself I'm going to do in the new year coming. So I'm going to tell some of my funny stories at work and things like that, because some of them were super funny. But, they need to quit going at each other. And I know it's for views and people get off, they really like that. The drama. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. Do I say things about certain people? I might, but it's not on the mic. It's not on the video screen here, because I'll just be shaking my head going, man, what a liar, man. Dude, why don't you just be honest with your people? Honesty gets you a long way, and you know that. Why not be honest about it? Why you gotta lie? Then you lie, then you try to cover up your lie, or you delete your video, or you edit that part out because you said something you shouldn't have said. You know what I mean? Well, if you say it and it's coming out your mouth, it's the truth then maybe, huh? So just back your play. Don't worry about it. You said it. You made a mistake. If it's a mistake, then apologize. Don't take it down. Don't edit it out. But if it's not a mistake and you said it and you meant it, but then all of a sudden you start getting a bunch of heat from a bunch of people because you said a certain thing, whether it's racial or whatever it is that came out of your mouth, that's probably the truth. So don't go running and trying to, whoa, I can't believe I said that. You know what I mean? No, that must be how you actually feel. Like I said, I try to be as honest as I possibly can about everything. But anyways, 2025, I'm hoping these adults that's been to prison Okay, that's my thing. You've been to prison, you've been to jail, whatever it is. You spent 10 years, you spent 20 years, you spent 5 years. I don't give a shit how many years you spent in prison. I don't give a shit if you're on level 1, level 2, level 3, or level 4 yard. Doesn't mean shit to me. Okay? I don't give a shit. Does that make you any different of a person? It doesn't. Do I give a shit? No, I don't. Because you're not in there no more. So you shouldn't give a shit either. Tell your story about your life story about being on a level 4 prison or level 3, whatever it was, level 2, level 1. I don't give a shit what level it is. But they always got to act like there's some hard ass killers, but they won't leave their house. They're scared. Now, what kind of life is that? All to make money. So you have all this money and you're sitting in an apartment or a house and you're getting your groceries, you're getting your food, you're getting everything DoorDash to you, and you're ordering from Amazon. Because you know what? That way you don't have to leave your house because you're afraid to leave your house. Maybe don't say the shit you're saying. Grow up, get some balls, and be real. And when somebody says something that you don't like on your lives or comments, sometimes you have to block certain people because they're just trolls. But when somebody's asking you a legitimate question, like, say they're asking me, hey, Pop, or POP. Yeah, I heard your story, your life story, whatever. I don't believe that you ever went, you were ever in prison. Because there's no way you could ever be in law enforcement. That there I'll argue that, because I'm proof. I have all the proof. I don't need to explain it to you because I don't even know who you are. But you come on my page and come at me like that. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not lying about it. Why would I make a story up, about it? Why was I interviewed on Blood on a Razor Wire TV? And then I was also on the Ian Bick show, because I showed them all my paperwork. I showed everything. I'm not lying. You know what I'm going to do? I keep saying this. I'm going to interview some of my partners. Like, I had the one partner when I was an investigator. I want to get him on here. I want to get my old partner. Because he's getting up there in the age, man. Because when he was my partner, he was like, this was years ago. Like I was in my 30s, early 30s, and he was like in his 50s already. So you realize now, he's in his 70s now. And he's not doing, we talked over the holiday, which was really great. We talked Christmas Eve day for about an hour and a half. And then about a week ago, we talked. That's the kind of bond and relationship you get with your partners. You trust them. And they're like family. You know what I mean? They're a part of your family when you work in that field. Because you got to, and there's a lot of people you can't trust me. That was kind of stupid. Trust me? Yeah. You can't. It's just like anybody in the streets and in the gangs or in prison. You trust these people 100%. And you go put yourself on this is the difference too. You're in prison. You're putting in work for somebody else because somebody else told you because you want them to like you, or they tell you that you're part of the family. Yeah, man, you're all good. And then the next thing you know, they're putting a hit out on you. You're going to get whacked by the by the people that told you you're part of the family. You can't trust them. You see what I'm getting at? You can't trust them. Same with law enforcement, dude. You can't trust a lot of people, and you get in some really sticky situations. Where you could get shot and killed. Whatever. There's a lot of different things that can happen to you. So if you have a partner, you got to, I've worked with several people. I wouldn't give them the time of day. You know what I mean? And sorry about that. But I wouldn't give them the time of day. You know what I mean? Because I worked with them one time, and then that one time's all it took. And I'm like, nope, don't ever send me out with that one. You know what I mean? That's why I could never do be a training officer. I mean, I did do some training. I was training self-defense classes and some other classes that I was a certified trainer in. But as far as like being a trainer, training the rookies, did I have to do that? I had to do it a couple times, but other than that, nah. I'm not that person. I don't have the patience, or I'm not putting myself out there like that. Just not doing it. Anyways, guys, I was going to do a live, but man, there's so many lives going on right now. I was just like, I can't do it. Because I was like, nobody will watch my live. Because all these big platforms, man, are all doing lives right now as we speak on Christmas evening. So I just thought I'd do this video real quick. Well, it's been 50 minutes. Not real quick, I guess, huh? Anyways, yeah, I'll be putting out some content here. You know, it's the holidays. I'm going to do some live. I was going to do a live tonight, but there's just too many people doing lives right now. But thanks for stopping by. Again, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already done so. And I do have content to be, that I'm working on. It's just I got to wait till, the whole Saturday. We're going to go to my oldest daughter's and celebrate Christmas. And then we just celebrated Christmas. So, I only got, 2 days there between. I might bust out some. I might do a live. But probably after Saturday, I'll be putting out some more content. And I'll get back on my lives. Doing my lives every other day, every day. I don't care. All right, man. Wish you guys all a Merry Christmas. And we'll see you for New Year's. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.